I remember we were fighting for my underwear. He was trying to pull them down and I was trying so hard to pull them up. I was so terrified. Anyways, hi guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Dumanian Talks. This is Ndebogeng. I hope you enjoy my content and you stay. Please make sure that you subscribe. I'm not gonna do an intro, but for those who have been here with me for the longest time, they know that, because I don't want to edit this video, so I just want to put it out there straight. I'm just gonna upload it like this. Yeah, I don't want to rewatch this, if you know what I mean. So I remember this like it was yesterday. I've been saying for the longest time that I wanted to do this video since 20 what since I started my YouTube channel. I wanted to do this video, but I was just looking for the right time, the right moment to shoot this video, but I lost gadgets. I lost like what do you call it, the things to shoot. I lost the things that I shot my YouTube videos with, my content with. So now I got a chance to shoot again, so this is it. So I was dating this guy back in high school. This was the starting of my dating phase, you understand? So let me give you a bit of a background of how we started dating. Before dating this guy, I was dating this other guy who stays front opposite. Not exactly front opposite, front opposite there's a yard, and then next door, that's where the guy was staying, right? Oh, cool. So I was dating him, but the relationship didn't last like long. You feel? So it was not a serious thing. Like, he was my first like serious boyfriend. Yeah. But like, we didn't kiss, we never went out for dates, we never like did anything, but we were like, we just loved each other. And then we broke up, the relationship ended, and then we continued being friends. So this one time during the night, let me not say like night, because I was coming from the shops, so it was like around evening, so around 7. So I met this other guy. So he approached me, wanted my numbers, and I didn't know the guy. I had never met this person. So he was okay, and then I gave him my numbers, and then we started communicating from there, and then we started dating from there. Cool. I was still a virgin by then. Fine. So I kept, and then while we were dating, I started seeing him coming to my first boyfriend's place, his home. And I was like, are they friends? That's weird. I didn't know that. Cool, but okay, fine, it's cool. Let me not care, because I had never seen him around the community. I had never seen him, guys. So during this whole relationship thing, we continued dating, and then we used to hang out, and then I would hear rumors of the people saying that I had slept with a guy, blah blah blah. And I was like, I didn't have a problem with that, because it had never happened. You get. So one time I went to school, and then I think we were attending like Saturday schools, or it was during the holidays, I'm not sure, but I was wearing casual. And then I went to school, and then I came back. When I came back, I went to see him first before going home. So that's when I went to his place for the first time. And then I went there. When I got there, the guy tried to have sex with me. Um, and then I fought him off. I was like, oh, I'm not really interested. I don't want to do this. And then he was a bit understanding, or it's because I was like, no, no, no. I don't know, but like, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. And then I went home. Cool, fine. And then the second time, I was walking my friend home, because we used to hang out like way too much back then. We used to hang out like after every school, after school, I don't know what I'm saying, but like, I'm sure you get it. So we used to hang out there and there, and like, so I got a call from this guy that I was dating. He said, this is happening, blah 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 blah, please come see me. I remember I was wearing like, what's this green color, the army color, is it? Yeah, that color. Yamasole, like, I was wearing that trouser. The material was a bit like thin, because it seems like it was a sport wear trouser, but like, yeah, those cargo pants, simple. Yeah, those ones. I was wearing those ones, and I was just wearing this floral shirt. And then I went to see him, because he said he had an emergency, blah blah blah, those kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, he's not okay, because he's my boyfriend, I'm worried, you understand. So I went to see him. Then when I got there, the guy was outside, he was sitting outside, and then I was like, what's happening, what's wrong? He said, let's go inside so that we can talk, you understand. I was like, okay, cool. And then we went inside. When I got inside, immediately the guy locked the door. When he locked the door, I remember asking myself, what's happening, And then I asked him, Kanti, why are you locking the door? Because you said it's an emergency, you want to talk, blah, blah, blah. And then he said, yeah, I want us to talk, He started playing music. And then the way he played music, he played it out loud, like so loud, to an extent I started questioning myself for it. Kanti, why is he playing music so loud when we have something to discuss? How are we going to communicate? You understand? Because we're not going to hear each other, obviously. Or he wants us to have like a party or whatever. I don't understand. I'm not understanding what's happening, And then he said, it's like he didn't talk much. He started like acting, actions where what he wanted to talk about, like what he was actually doing was the talk. He tried to undress me, and then I was like, no, like, why are you undressing me? Because you said we have to talk. Like, can you at least leave me so that I can go home? Because now I'm so uncomfortable. And he was like, nah. He pulled my trousers down. Like, he pulled my trousers down. I was left with we were fighting for my trouser at first, and then he pulled them down, like, because he had so much power. And then I was like, I'm gonna leave this house like this. You understand? I'm gonna leave this house like this if you don't give me my trousers back. And he was like, you're not leaving, because he had locked the door. So I was like, cool. he then like dragged me to the bedroom, to his bedroom. He dragged me to his bedroom, and then the next thing I remember, we were on his bed, and then now at this point we were fighting for my underwear. um as I said, he was pulling them down, and I was busy trying to pull them up, and I was screaming for my life. Like I was screaming out loud, so that maybe someone who's passing by, or someone next door would hear me, would hear me screaming. But like the music was just too loud, like it was just too loud. And then he managed to take my panties off, and then I remember telling him this, like, bruh, if you continue doing this, you and I, it's over. You and I, no longer gonna be boyfriend and girlfriend. You understand? He didn't have an issue with that. He didn't care. He just continued, like, and I told him, like, I've never done this. I've never been like intimate with anyone. I've never had like sexual intercourse with anyone ever. He didn't care. He didn't care. He penetrated. He had a condom already. Don't know when he opened it, when he did the things, but I remember like everything happened so fast, and I was in tears. The only thing that I remember was me crying and screaming for like screaming so loud, asking for help. Or can someone help me? Can someone just like help? You know. He did what he did, and then he finished, and he was like, "It's done. Like it's done." I don't remember. Like my mind was so blank. Like I couldn't even hear the music anymore. Like nothing was so clear. Like the only thing that I remember from there was taking my clothes, leaving the bedroom, dressing up, heading while I was heading to the door, like and then he just like stood up, went to the door, opened the door, and he's like I don't even know what she said. I don't think he said anything, like, because I was in tears. I was I just couldn't like believe nor process what had just happened. So I kept on like dressing up while I was leaving, and then I left the gate. And when I was leaving, so there was this other guy who stays like next door. I don't know. I don't know if he went to see him or what. But I also asked myself while I was on my way home, like, didn't this guy like hear me at least, like, because I was screaming so loud. I know the music was so loud, but didn't he hear me? Oh, but I just left. I went home, and then after I went home, I just felt so dirty. I just felt so. I couldn't even tell my mom. I couldn't tell anyone about what had just happened, because I blamed myself for going there. I blamed myself for so many things. I blamed myself for even trusting the guy, for dating the guy, because my mom had warned me about this guy. But I was like, why is Batsadi? They will always be like, no, don't date, you're still young, this girls just want sex, blah 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 blah, you know, those kind of stuff. And I was like, maybe it's just that. And when I dated this guy, I have this, I feel like I have this issue, or I had, not I still have, I had this issue of dating people just because I pity them. Because this guy was not schooling, I was schooling. And when I asked him, oh, why are you not schooling, he used to tell me about, oh, and I don't have parents now, that's why I couldn't finish school, blah blah blah, those kind of stuff. And I was so understanding because, you know, our family backgrounds are not the same. And you know, I've also, like, where I come from, my family dynamic also is not well polished, well fine. It is not, because my dad was a bit abusive towards me, towards my mom. He used to beat us up. He used to beat me up, like, for absolutely no reason. You know, a simple thing that I would do, and you could just say, no, Ndebogeng, you were supposed to do one, two, three, you know, do better next time, and then you just leave. Ah, motho ha ire yalo, o better, a go shape, nje, just because he thinks he can. So I was so terrified of my dad. I didn't wanna, like, be around my dad. Every time he used to come home, I would, like, just I just wanted to be far away from him, you know. But okay, that's not the story. So I used to be understanding of certain things. I felt like I lowered my standards. I was like, I'll just take anything I appreciate. You know, I can love you as long as you love me. You know, I felt like I didn't know my worth. Um, so that's why I was, you know, yeah. I just felt sorry for him when we started dating, and then, like, feelings developed for a bit. You know, there were feelings then. They were not like real feelings. I was not in love. I was just in a relationship. Yeah, because it didn't drive me crazy. So yeah, I I never wore that trouser, no, that top ever again. I never told my mom, and I was like, if I'm gonna tell my mom, I'm gonna tell my mom when I'm grown enough, when I know my story, you know, because now I still blame myself. I still this thing, like, it haunts me so bad. I just couldn't handle it. I told some of my friends, I told the pastor, I told so many people. And then during that process, um I became the forgiving person, you know, because I'm that forgiving person. I never, like, hold a grudge. Even if you do me dirty, like dirty, I don't hold a grudge. I remember when my dad got shot and then he died. I never had, like, a grudge against those people who shot my dad. I was like, Modimo tla ba bona. That's the only thing that I said. I remember going, like, from one police station to the other. I really didn't care because I just knew that God will deal with these people. No, no other human can, you know, punish or torture another being for whatever reason. God is there to judge, not us. So I forgave the guy, I forgave him, and then I continued with my life. the relationship obviously didn't continue. I forgave him, guys. I forgave. We didn't talk, ne, for the longest time. He never like asked for forgiveness. And then I started hearing rumors that he was telling people that I was easy. He managed to sleep with me. He blah blah blah, those kind of stuff. And I was like, that's what he's saying. There's nothing I can say. If that's what he's saying, okay, cool. But the funny thing is, he was telling my other guy friends about this thing, but my friends already knew what had happened, so they were just like, okay, dude, you're so weird, you're so weird. And reporting such things to police officers like South Africa, I feel like it's a waste of time sometimes. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I didn't want to go through that because I went through that with my father's death. So I just didn't want to do that anymore. I just left it like that. And then after that, I remember I met him while I was coming from school after writing my exams. And then he said, we talked for a bit, and he was like, I'm going to fetch, I don't know if he said he's gonna fetch money or he's gonna fetch what from somewhere. So he said we must go together, and he wanna talk to me. He wants to ask for forgiveness, blah 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 blah. So I was like, you know what, cool, because I'm over this. And then I left and I went with him. Right. This was a year later. Um, we went to this other place. I had never been there before. I used to just pass by, and then when I got there, there were it was there were two of his friends. Ne? Um, this other guy, he was this other cutest guy from school. We went to high school together, and then what happened to him is he banned himself for a girlfriend. Blah blah blah. I don't wanna, but I'm sure if I mention this, and now people are gonna know who I'm talking about, and I want people to know who I'm talking about because I'm not gonna mention his name. You understand? I don't want his name coming out from my mouth. I don't even want that. So these guys were also like, I hate them. I hate them. So we went there, and then we went inside the house, all of us, and then those other two guys, they went out. And then I was now with him alone. And then now he wanted to do the same thing that he did again, to me. He started like fighting me off, trying to undress me. I was wearing, what do you call this tunic? I don't know what you call it. I was wearing that. And then I was wearing some stockings, some black stockings. Obviously my school shoes, and I had my bag. So he tried to undress me again, fighting me off, trying to take my stockings down. I thank God that there was no music. And some people would be like, you are so stupid for, trusting him again, blah, blah, blah. But I never thought that would happen because, man. So he kept fighting me off, trying to undress me, and that day, I was like, Shem, I'd rather die. Today, I'd rather die. I fought him off. I screamed my lungs out. I screamed. Like, thank God there was no music. And this happened like for close to 15 minutes, I think, while we're busy like having this physical altercations and like whatever. And then we're fighting. So those two guys, I think one of them said, hey brah, like that girl like is screaming so bad, you need to stop, because now people are now focusing like here, but they want to know what's happening, you know, they're just staring, they're just there outside the yard, they want to know what's happening. And then he let go of me, and then like, guys, I left, like I just took my I left. I didn't even like look back and see what did I leave, what did I just leave. I just left. And then when I left that house, I looked at those guys and I'm like, guys, for real? Guys, are you for real? We were also in I know, ne? It's been long since I shot like YouTube videos, and like when I talk, everything is all over the place, but I hope that you can hear what I say, and I hope that other people other young kids who are growing, or anyone here who's just in a relationship, because I've talked about this on my previous video about being sexually abused without realizing that you're sexually abused by your partner, you know, your husband, your boyfriend, or whoever. And at least now what was happening to me, like I knew what was happening to me. I knew that whatever that was happening was so wrong, you know. Sometimes you can be in a relationship and you can be manipulated in so many ways just to, you know, take your panties down and have sex like for no reason, when you are not like actually interested in having sex. And then yeah, so after that, I remember when I started like having sex, I just did it just because, not because I wanted to, not because I was ready, not because it felt so good. I just did it because I just felt like, what's the point of waiting, like, because already sengcolile yabo, I'm dirty. That's how I felt. And after every like sexual intercourse, I'd cry, like immediately after I'd cry. Guys, I hope you learned something from my story, and yeah, thank you guys. I'm done. There's nothing else to say. Please make sure that you subscribe, you share with friends, and if you have questions, please comment down below. I'll do my utmost best to answer. And yeah, that's it from me. Guys, if you see me staring outside, eish, hlala ney'lwane la. I was like, so I can't focus. I'm just like, and also like the more I try to focus on the story, I don't want to like focus on the story. At least if I get distracted, then yeah, I'm able to say what I want to say clearly. Does it make sense? Bye guys. I hope it was recorded.